As a watch designer, we try to imbue as much of our DNA into our watches. But this Dutch brand, pOrtahl, manages not just to touch every single part of the watch, but they also manage to put in something very unique, and quite literally very unique, on the dial. Find out what it is. When allocating your efforts and resources into a watch design, the common direction is to devote as much amount of that on the case and bracelet, and then leave room for variations on the dials, straps, and packaging. This way, you can offer as much variety possible given the limited amount of uniqueness for the buyers to choose from. pOrtahl tweaked this a little bit by offering just one version of the watch itself and spreading the resources out to the rest of the watch. This gives them room to customize a lot of the parts, and this way, even though they are actually offering just one version of this reference, they were able to come up with a design that's very different from many of the watches you see online. That's in a way a very bold statement considering they are offering just one overall look for the Zenmaster. It's as if they are confident that this is all the look of a watch that you need. Your polygamous ways of watch collecting is all but over, and you can finally have peace with this one watch. Well, applying that same principle for your marriage will surely improve your relationship with your significant other, but I doubt it will work for most of us who claims to have a collection. A collection of watches, I mean. Well, it can apply to a collection of wives too, but I guess this is not the channel for that. Back to this watch, its simplicity is very much felt immediately in the operations side as you are provided with a reliable movement in the Miyota 9015. On the practicality side, they added the quick release spring bars to ensure that you will be able to swap bands for a different look and configuration. I would actually suggest to use this bracelet a lot more as it's one of the key parts of this watch that you have to experience for yourself. Just look at how fine this bead blasting effect is on top of having a really great high polished middle detail. Additionally, on the production run, they will be adding a grade A IPH coating, giving this watch 1500 Vickers of scratch resistance. This FKM rubber strap is available as an extra to swap with your Zenmaster's bracelet. This comes in many different colors and it's cut to fit the way you like it. This also has quick release spring bars, so the switching process is as seamless as can be. It has a beautiful and subtle texturing going on to complement this nice and clean buckle design. As with all straps of this kind, it's a one and done deal, so you'll have to start measuring it loose and then gradually cutting it to your size. As bona fide watch pirates, though, nothing brings eternal satisfaction and unbridled terror than severing a non reattachable thing. So, you'll have to man up to set this strap to your size. And so, after earning those iron cannonballs, you'll find the zenest of peace by using this really comfortable and beautiful strap. As you may have figured out, these crazy Dutch guys thought of everything. And so they made sure that every 22mm strap they install would work with the Zen Master. The hooded lug design conceals the connection points of the lugs, making the strap appear as though it is part of the case. This same phenomenon works with most bracelet styles as well. With the light case and dial, you are now free to harmonize your strap with the rest of your outfit. Now let's try this on a different kind of strap that's built to withstand some of the most unpeaceful of situations. Whether you're diving in the treacherous Caribbean waters or in one of those hardcore dishwashing sessions, this Artem sailcloth strap will survive almost all of them. The Zenmaster is not far behind, as it's also finished and treated to have all of those durable qualities. pOrtahl hopes that this could potentially be your daily watch, so they made sure that it would look as good as the first day you wore it. This very fine sandblasted texture should mitigate many of the scratches, and the IPH plating should keep most of them away. There's a certain satisfaction in dissecting the little details that's applied to this watch. For starters, it's a rather imposing watch. Yes, it's just 40.5mm, but it wears big with its thin bezel and large dial. The sides though exhibit the really good stuff. With just barely exceeding 10mm, this is one surprisingly thin watch that's sure to please many watch enthusiasts. But here's one cool detail. The lugs here are not symmetrical. One side stoops downward while the other rises upward. It's a sort of yin and yang imagery that's in keeping with Oriental harmonious principles. The same theme is repeated on the rotor with all of the Zen patterns decorating the surface. It's a nice feature on top of the usual Geneva patterns on the movement bridges. Back to the top, the lug hood also has a two-step detail that's both decorative and functional. Not only does it make any bracelet or strap look integrated to the case, but it also hides the spring bars whenever you use a smaller than 22 mm strap. That's actually pretty clever. Onto the bezel here, we can see a two-dimensional design that I feel could be excessive. This half-fluted edge reminds us of Parmigiani, which could be pleasing to the eye if there weren't enough details on the watch already. In this area, I think a little restraint would have done a lot more for the dial rather than take some focus away from it. Then we have this golden crown that at first glance feels smaller than it should be, but in reality it's just about the right size for a dress watch to have. Now for the bracelet, the fascinating part here is how they applied the polished lines. Could it be that they polished the whole thing, then sandblasted the other parts? Or did they sandblast everything, then added the polished lines? I don't know. What do you think? Do you know how they did it? The whole shape is very straight, but there is a very subtle taper that you can notice at the very end of the end link. Overall, it looks and feels robust while feeling soft to your touch. If you prefer a little more contour, you can opt for their branded strap. This has a very understated texture and a signed butterfly clasp that keeps everything pretty slick. While the bracelet projects a tougher and chunkier impression, on the FKM rubber, everything feels soft and serene. This, however, might be the least customized part of the watch, as I've seen these straps before on many online stores. But hey, it's one great add-on to an otherwise mostly unique watch design. After looking into this watch, it's good to be reminded that right now this could be pre-ordered at just $399. While many brands would be offering their watches at the same price but at half the effort, pOrtahl feels like it ran and swam the extra mile while offering you a free filleted barracuda if you ordered in the next 10 minutes. But really, the biggest feature of this watch that you won't find anywhere else is in the dial pattern. This may seem at first like any other Japanese wave pattern that you see out there, but in fact, this is unique. I mean, literally unique, as each dial is randomized using Trouchet's mathematical tiling concept. The pattern is generated by randomly rotating two basic tiles. No matter how the tiles are turned, it will align with the other tiles that it's connected to. After determining the pattern, it is then etched to the dial individually. This enables pOrtahl to deliver a unique dial per watch without charging astronomical amounts for a piece unique watch. It's a genius way of leveraging modern technology into an art form. And once they have captured your attention with the dial, they then hit you with even more organic shapes, such as these rehout markers. Lastly, they accent the whole dial with these gilt elements that really pops over this very light and lively dial. Without any exaggeration, this watch is one of the most value-oriented watch I've seen at $400. The value here is in the noticeable effort shown on the design. I know for a fact that these are costly to produce, and pOrtahl was good enough to transfer those values to the enthusiast. As much as we readily associate Zen with simplicity and peace, pOrtahl's approach is as complicated and as intricate as possible that it actually overloads your mind once you pick all of them apart one by one. I guess that's the hidden beauty of finding peace in owning a watch. Yes, this encourages you to find solace in owning just this one watch for every situation. Even though we know for a fact that the rest of our collection is just sitting there waiting for their turn. And that is the new Zenmaster from pOrtahl. It's their second watch. They were successful in their first launch watch in Kickstarter, and now they have this in that platform. So support them in Kickstarter as much as you can. And again, this is a very well designed watch. They managed to design every single part, from the lugs, the case, to the dial, to the bezel, the bracelet. Also, this kind of micro blasted surface is truly rare to see in this, especially in this price point. And those gorgeous polished champers really accents the uniqueness of this watch. Very durable also, 1500 HB coating. That's going to be in the actual production model. And sad to say, I need to send this back. I'm trying to record this as early as possible so I can send this back to them. And I think this is a smashing watch. Of course, there are some criticisms to it. I would have preferred this a case to be a little bit smaller. The crown could have been bigger. The bezel, I would rather have a different design bezel. I think it's way too not articulate. It's way too detailed now, and I think a simpler bezel would have benefited this watch a little bit better. But man, that dial is truly unique because every single one is different using algorithm. Imagine that. And this goes to show that you can really have this kind of bespokeness to a watch, even though you're playing around the sub $1,000, even sub $800 range, you know. And I think this is a very good example, and I'm looking forward to more watches from this Dutch brand. So comment down below, let me know what you guys think about the pOrtahl Zenmaster.